moment when I rapped for Rick Ross and he was like bopping his head and he's like, yo, keep doing your thing. I think that's the most famous person who I would say appreciated my music. Music is not something that's forced, you know? Music is not really something that you wanna put I don't wanna say it's effortless, but it's not really something you wanna make someone do. My name is Steve Sikaziga. I'm born in Kigali. My artist name is Kazi. So I used to live here. I lived here for 5 years before I moved to Canada. And I've been living here ever since. So yeah, I'm Rwandese, but I live in Canada. What I do in my daily life is I work. I'm a financial analyst at the Treasury Board in the Government of Canada. But then I also do music. So I'm an artist. I've been doing music for about 5 years professionally. So yeah, those are my two things that I do for a living. I probably wake up in the morning, get a glass of coffee, you know, to wake me up, and then I go to work. I go to work from 9 to 5, either 9 to 5 or 9 to 6 every day. I used to have a place where I used to go for the studio, but now I have a studio at home, so I just go back home and then I listen to some music, maybe play a beat. Sometimes I write, sometimes I don't write, sometimes I record. It just depends. I like the fact that it's diversified. You know, I think I have a bit of everything. You know, if you like R&B pop, I have R&B pop. If you like rap, I have rap. If you like hip hop or club music, I have that. So I just like the diversity. And then at some point, I think something hit me. You know, as I was getting older, I said, why not? Why not just try it? And I think it speaks volumes to people. You know, in whatever you do. You know, don't be scared to try something new, you know, because I was scared and I tried it, it ended up working out, and I'm seeing the fruits of my labor now. So I think that's a beautiful thing. I think the best thing about being an artist is to be able to express yourself. You know, say what you want to say freely without having any fear of judgment. So yeah, and the creative aspect of it, finding creative ways to, you know, put things together and make it, you know, it's art, it's an expression. So finding creative ways to express yourself. The moment I think I decided to be an artist was really, take it seriously, was about, you know, 18 years old. It's something I think I became more curious about, but I've always had a passion for music. I always really liked playing music, and you know, I was into a lot of artists. So I would write sometimes, you know, a little music here and there. Once when I did this show, and I hadn't done what they call sound clearance, which is basically when the person who runs the volumes adjusts the volumes based on your voice. So I came late and I didn't get to do that, and so when I was performing, my voice wasn't clear enough, so I felt like I was shouting. And at the end of the day, after that, they told me that you know, it sounded like I was shouting. So that was probably one of the funniest moments. I don't know, it's a bit surreal. It's definitely a bit surreal. I didn't expect it to happen fairly quickly. I've only been here for 2 weeks, but it feels good. It feels good. I'm hoping that people like the music, you know. It's less about me, it's more about the music, and I think the message I'm trying to get across. So I'm glad. I mean, people come say hi, you know, we discuss, so it feels good. In the music industry, some of the challenges that I think I'm facing is probably continuously marketing yourself, you know. I think there's a lot of music out there. There's a lot of great artists, you know, and sometimes you get lost because there's a lot of great music around. So you got to find a great way to market yourself and a great way to push the music out, you know. So that's a challenge that I've always faced, and I'm still facing it, and I think I'm always going to face until, you know, I'm at a place where I no longer need to introduce myself. So the famous artist I think that appreciated my music was a moment when I rapped for Rick Ross, and he said he liked it. I was in Dubai just at a show, and I saw him walk out, and I chased right behind him, and I started rapping for him, and he was like bopping his head, and he's like, yo, keep doing your thing. I think that's the most famous person who I would say appreciated my music. Aside from music, so one of the other talents that I have that isn't music, I used to draw. I used to draw a lot, you know, animations and stuff like that. That was something I was really into. I'm pretty good at bowling. I played football in high school football American. So those are some of the stuff I think I would be good at. Music is not something that's forced, you know? Music is not really something that you wanna put I don't wanna say it's effortless, but it's not really something you wanna make someone do. A lot of the times, like, you can go to the studio with someone and, you know, things just don't end up working out due to the fact that it wasn't the right song or it wasn't just the right day. And I think when that happens, you just have to take a break, you know what I mean? Like, I would rather not force someone or, you know, motivate someone into doing it. If it's a question of just searching for motivation, I just keep myself motivated. I think I would keep them motivated by performing at my best of abilities, you know? I mean, to be an artist, you need to be, you know, creative is one thing, but resilience is another, you know? Like, persistency and resilience is another thing, because, you know, it's not easy being an artist, you know? I think there's a lot of preconceived notions of an artist. Like, people get judged for being an artist because there's this idea of the type of lifestyle you have, of the type of things you might do, and also, like, if you're not big, you know, people might look at you a certain way sometimes, you know, they're like, oh, you do music? Like, why do you do music? You know, so I think it's just about being driven, being persistent, and those are things that I've learned about myself, and it's developed, you know. Those are the kind of tools that I've developed over the course of my, I guess, my music career. When I hear people play the music, when I'm not around, when people send me videos of them playing the music, when I hear them reciting the lyrics, because I remember a time when I was writing it, you know, so it feels good. I appreciate it, and it motivates me to want to do more. I mean, I guess maybe like a known artist would experience, you know, like notoriety, like a lot of popularity, you know. I've never experienced that. I've never gotten booed off a stage. I know that's something that artists always say, like, in the beginning they went through. Surprisingly, I never got booed off a stage. Not surprisingly, like, I'm glad it never happened, but I don't want to get booed off stage, you know. So yeah, I think those are the two things I would say that an artist goes through. That the high that makes it hard to decide. I could burn in your eyes, baby. I've been on, yeah. Shawty, would you ride for me all night long? And then the rapping one would probably go like, coldest verse in a while, November child, so my time is coming. I'm on an island with the fire burning. Simultaneously my iron rushing hot all inside of me, constantly thinking about all these vacations to Dubai. It's whatever to supply the thrill. I'ma reveal why this pressure is applied to kill. It's not to fill it, spill it. One of the activities I like to do is go to the gym. I like to, you know, it's another way of like releasing stress. Working out, I like going to restaurants, I like to eat, so that's why I go to the gym to find a balance, you know. So aside from that, I mean, music definitely takes up a lot of the time, and, you know, back home, the days go by so quickly. So if you have half of the day where you're at work, and then the other half, you know, you're trying to record music, then the other half, and a portion of that, you're trying to go to the gym, you realize that, like, at some point you need to go to sleep, you know. So an artist from Rwanda that I would like to collaborate with, like I said before, I want to collaborate with a female artist. There's a lot of great female artists. Butare knows is a very good artist. Marina is a great artist. Queen Sha's a great artist. Who else? For guys, I collaborated with Betray recently. We're gonna shoot a video, so that's an artist I definitely wanted to work with. So in my house, I have two siblings. I have two sisters. I'm the oldest one in the family, so the other one's 5 years younger than me. The other one's 2 years younger than me. I came here for vacation, like to visit family, but I also came to work. You know, I wanted to connect with people, share my music, you know, build that bridge, build a connection between the people here and the Rwandese diaspora. You know, I think it's important for us to always come back and stay in touch with the culture and stay in touch with our roots. The plan I have right now for the fans is in 2021, I want to release maybe like a small project, you know. I'm calling it an album, but it's going to be a small project, maybe 8 to 10 songs. Some in Rwanda in English, some in English, some rapping, some singing. And that would be like my first official like project, you know. So I'm excited for that. I would say maybe like fall 2021. That's when I would like to release it. I would love to perform, but right now because of the pandemic, we don't, you know, it's a bit tough. But the idea is to release it next fall, because I would like to come back in the winter, in December. I know here there's no winter, but in December, so I can perform. You know, if everything goes well, I would like to come back and actually perform some of the songs and meet finally the fans in person. Meet the people I've been talking to on social media, on Instagram. Finally meet them in person. My experience in Rwanda has been very positive. You see, Rwanda, the thing is, you leave, and when you come back, so much changes. You know, everything is very fast-paced. So, you know, I'm very proud of the progress that I've seen in Rwanda. You know, like I came here 5 years ago, and when I came, the convention wasn't done. There was no such thing as Kigali Heights. Some of the roads that were there weren't there. So I think it speaks volume to how much the Rwandese community just wants to progress and build. So I was very impressed, you know. Some of the places I go to, and I think I'm in California, you know, so. What inspired me to do music was the fact that I always appreciated music. I was a big fan of music, and you know, it was something that I always wanted to do, but I think I was nervous. The message I would like to send to the people, it's to believe in yourself, you know, to believe in yourself, to work hard. If you have an objective in mind, chase it, you know. Don't let anyone tell you wrong. And I know it's very simple to hear it, but in reality, sometimes it's hard to apply it. But it all starts with the mind, you know. The power of the mind is a strong thing. So if you truly believe yourself, things will just happen, you know. You'll start doing one thing, and that one thing will lead to the next. And soon enough, you'll see that, you know, now you're doing what you wanted to do. So always pursue your dream and keep God first.